Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Log Kya Kenge, also known as What Will People Say. Today I'm just going to talk about the word Log Kya Kenge because I think we've heard this word more than anything else, and I'm going to be talking about my little journey on this word and my little opinion on it. Because we all live in a society where we are often told to think of others before we think of ourselves, which I find very messed up because I think we should be thinking of ourselves and of whoever we want to think about, not of random people that we barely meet, first off. And I think jo log kya kenge, or the people that we refer to or our parents referred to, are the people that we have barely met in our lives. They have seen us probably once or twice, or they probably see us on occasions. But we still need to think about their opinion on our stuff. And honestly, we can't lie. We sit down often and think to ourselves, what will people say? Or what will people think? But we actually don't realize that those people are thinking the same exact thing as us. And our parents don't realize that this sentence has killed so many dreams because कोई भी बात हो जाए या कोई भी चीज़ हो जाए, we think के लोग क्या कहेंगे, लोग क्या सोचेंगे. And it's like, why should we care? Spent a lot of time in Pakistan and obviously America because this is where I'm born and raised. And I understand both of the lifestyles, I think, equally. And I must say that whether you're in America or whether you're in Pakistan, I think the word log kya kenge, or what will people say, I think no matter where you're from or what culture you belong to, I think that you hear this from your parents or you hear this from someone. Because, again, we often think about others before we think about ourselves. We're told to do that. And subconsciously, we end up doing that. And I've always been a carefree person. Okay, not always, because obviously, there was a point I really did care about, what will people say, or, is someone gonna judge me, or this or that. But as I grew older, I just stopped caring. And especially when I became really sick, when I was on bed rest, and when I spent a lot of time alone, and I really saw the world closely, it changed my perspective on everything. I really thought caring about other people's opinions really matters. Obviously, at a certain point. You could be in the hardest phase of your life, people will have something to say then. And I've heard stuff even then. And I was told to do certain stuff even then. So I think that no matter what you are doing, and no matter who you are, I do believe that someone out there will have something to say. And I also do believe that when you are happy with yourself and confident with yourself, you actually stop caring about others. I think your perspective on life kind of changes. And I've always lived by this, that if you don't know me personally, I'm not going to take anything personally. I've lived by this till a few months ago, but now I even changed that up, and now I'm like, even if you do know me personally, I'm not gonna take anything you say personally, because you probably don't know me on that level if you still think that about me, you know? So I just think that that term, what will people say, lo kya kenge, it just needs to be changed. The only thing that they're doing is shit talking. So why am I caring about them? And I think if one person starts changing, we all can change as a society, as a community. But we often just stand back and we often are like, we don't want to change because the person next to us doesn't want to change, which is not okay, because we are the people too. जो लोग क्या कहेंगे, someone's thinking that about us too. It's a cycle, and actually no one's changing the cycle. And I think a big reason is why I named my podcast Log Kya Kenge, because someone has something to say about clothes, someone has something to say about a language, someone has something to say about not having kids, someone has something to say about wearing too much makeup, someone has something to say about not wearing too much makeup. Everyone has something to say about someone, whether it's you or whether it's someone else. How many of us sit down and think about someone that, oh, like, what is this person doing? We all do that. How many of us think that, what is this person gonna think of us? We all do that too. But again, it's a cycle. We aren't changing. How do we expect not to change and others to just change? Why are we making our decisions, our life decisions, based on them? Honestly, you could be sick, dying, having the worst phase of your life. Those people won't even show up. The people that you guys are often worried about, or our parents are worried about, they're not gonna show up. So we waste so much of our energy thinking about लोग क्या कहेंगे, लोग क्या कहेंगे, लोग क्या कहेंगे, लोग जो भी कहें, हमें क्या? And everyone doesn't have to agree on what you're doing, but that doesn't mean you need to just stay shut, or you just need to stop doing what you're doing just because someone's not happy with it. And I think that's just like, that's just not right. I do feel that it's not our parents' fault or our family members, because they were raised a certain way and they had the same things put in their head. Now they're under so much pressure, and now they're doing the same thing to us. It's a cycle. But I think we are going to be maybe the first generation that hopefully breaks this. And I know it's really hard. It's really hard. I know it's easier to say than done not to actually think about people or not to think about what others say, because they have so much to say about every little thing. And you probably are saying something about what I'm saying right now. I always say this: your parents or whoever you're concerned with and you know you're doing the right thing and you're happy, then it shouldn't matter. I think then keep doing what you're doing and move on. I think being chronically ill has actually taught me that honestly, life is too short to think about what will people say about you. Last 2 years, when I got very sick and when I was on bed rest, I just remember just looking around, sometimes just staring at the ceiling and just thinking to myself that we waste so much time thinking about what will this person say, what will this person say, or just killing our dreams and being unconfident. Soon as my healing journey was starting and people would make comments or people would just tell me certain stuff, I would look at my scars and I would be like, oh, like shit, like they still had something to say. And I would be like, okay. And I think I went through so much trauma at that time that when people would throw their comments in, I would just be like, I would just think to myself, I would be like, wow, this they had something to say now. So I think as time kept going on, I was like, you know what? People are going to have something to say either way. I know some people don't get a chance to live their lives because they're so busy surviving it or so busy just, struggling and getting through it. But I am a strong believer that everything happens for a reason. And लोग आपसे कभी खुश नहीं होंगे, तो वो करो जो आपका दिल चाहता है, because you can't make anyone happy, literally. So I hope you guys understand why I named my channel this and a little bit about who I am through this and about my opinion, and let me know what are your thoughts about Log Kya Kenge or your experience about Log Kya Kenge, because I know so many people have experiences about what will people say Log Kya Kenge, so I want to know. And thank you so much for listening to me. I hope you all can continue supporting me. I appreciate you guys so much. Have a lovely week and see you all next week, inshallah.